Hi, so now this is the next one. I'm just getting rid of my tiny take. I suppose I could pay for more than 5 minutes, in which case then I'd be able to do it. So another thing we got is we've got add data. Now there's another way of adding data, and adding data is using your folders. So you can see, because I saved it under miscellaneous projects, it's got quite a few folders, and all of these have got different data in them. It's a good idea to name your folders things that make sense, and within the different folders to name stuff, for example, that makes sense. So there, for example, is one called Gold Coast Data, which is a satellite, and you can see there it's raster because there's little squares. So if I put that on, I've actually linked to that. It's very big. So it's calculating statistics, so just ignore that. It's just adding it in a certain way to the map. So I can add that too, but if I can double click on this, now this is a sign that means Geodatabase. And I will teach you how to use geodatabases in the next one, or how to start your own geodatabase. And I'm going to double click on this. Oh, it doesn't like it. Okay, so let's just never mind the statistics. And you can see there now I've added a raster layer, and you can see there it comes up at RGB, which basically stands for red, green, and blue. And this is quite a detailed data set, though. As you can see, it's from 2011. So, but it's very detailed. Some of the other imagery is pretty good too, and I'll show you that too. I'm actually going to take this off because and all you do there is right click on it and go remove. Okay, so let's just zoom out a bit, or what we can do is we can go to our bookmark. And how much time have we got left? Plenty of time. Okay. Another thing we can do, this is called a geodatabase. I'll teach you how to do one next time. And I've put my geodatabase into different layers that make sense to me. Okay, so say, for example, I put in baseline information. So this is a polygon data set. And you can see there it's got like a little drawing on it. This is a linear data set, and that's a point data set. So if you've got shape files, for example, now shape files is pretty much a standalone data set. And that shape file then, it's got the same symbology, but it's a different color. The reason I put things in a geodatabase is so that I can, everything's in the same coordinate system. So if I, for example, put in this, which is a Gold Coast map of open space, when you add a different layer or data set, and I've just added it by dragging it across from there to there, but you can also add it in other different ways. You can do it through add data, and there's various different ways of doing it. So you can see now ArcGIS has drawn it on the Gold Coast, and it's horrible. And they tend to use default symbology, for example. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to quickly change the base map. So quite often when I'm working just ordinarily on just looking at mapping, I don't want things too complicated. So what I'm going to do is just make a sort of basic gray base map. And this one here, this is the labels, and that's the map itself. So sometimes I just turn the labels off. And you can see there it's drawn open space. Now this is pretty meaningless. It's actually a Gold Coast City Council. What I always do when adding a new layer is I right click on it. There's other ways of doing this, of course, because it's ArcGIS. And you can see that it's a name of parks and reserves, etc. in the Gold Coast. The first one you see here, and every park has a row. And each row has some different attributes. So the first one is something called Object ID, which is something you can't do anything with it because it's an ArcGIS thing and it's a standard. You can hide it, but you can't delete it. Same with the shape, and this says it's a polygon. That's the name. So there's different names of reserves, 4,260 of them. That's the length, and that's the area. Now ArcGIS calculates its own area, but as you can see, I've done another calculation for area of square meters. And you can sort all of these. So the largest one here, which is probably there, and all I've done is click on it to select it. We'll do selecting later. I'm going to stop now.